Okay, here we are, part two of the video. Sorry it took so long to make one, but I had a bunch of things to do. But as we left off, we were on the Grand Theft Auto 5, so I think the next one here happens to be one of the very few good video game adaptations from a movie, and that, of course, is X-Men Origins Wolverine. Of course, as you can tell, I have the Uncaged edition, which is the best. This one was like a pretty hard thing to find, and as you can tell, I managed to find it at a cheap price. I mean, $29. I mean, actually, it is kind of expensive, but compared to the $60 to $100 online, I got this at a bargain. Plus, they probably charged as much back in, my guess is, when was this game made? 2009. And what am I saying? It's worth the price? Well, for $30, yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's pretty good. And for adaptation of the game, it's adaptation of the movie. This game is way better than the movie. I'll tell you that. But yeah, I managed to find this at a price. Liked liked it. Liked it. As you can see, it's pretty good. Yeah, one of the very few few video games I've ever seen. I've seen, especially out of Marvel, especially from Raven Software. So one of the pretty good developers. Very underrated. One of the best use. But yeah, this thing is best. The only thing I really have complaints about is the fact that some of the actors, aside from Hugh Jackman, are really not giving their all, which is kind of ironic considering the fact in the movie, well, more or less. But at the same time, when you're in your video game adaptation, sometimes the actors either they give it their all, or paycheck. And obviously, if you listen to see some of the clips online, you can tell they did it for a paycheck. But yeah, this is pretty good. Another one I have is one of my favorite childhood games. One of the very first Xbox 360 games I have. That is, of course, Stuntman Ignition. As you can see, no title or anything, no part, but have the disc. And as you all know, this is actually the second in the series of the Stuntman. Yeah, some people. When I was a kid, I thought this was like the first, but it turns out it wasn't. It was from the first game of Stuntman, which I have in the PS2 collection. But this is my favorite childhood games. Like one of my very first, way back in, I can't remember, 2011 or 12, I think. Yeah. Um. Well, in a way, it's kind of a better game in terms of gameplay because I managed to understand the controls better on like the first game. And I mean, the only downside is to this one is the fact that, well, as we all know, they don't really save your footage from whatever you made from your gameplay and put it in the trailer, unlike the first Stuntman game, which is one of the few good things they did. So they use pre-used footage used from the developers, which are from the developers, which really sucked. But at the same time, since it was made by THQ, by another company, I forget their name. I think it says so on the disc. By it doesn't say, but when it was under THQ, probably had less money, considering the fact, unlike of course Nintendo, Atari, or Flex Studios, but they actually gave it their all, especially for a game in, I forgot when it was made, 2004 or 5, I think. Yeah, one of my favorite first child games. I have fond memories of it, very fond memories. And this one was also another driving game that I also have very fond memories of, which is actually, believe it or not, the fourth game in a series, and that is, of course, Driver San Francisco. Yeah, this is before I even knew what the driver game was, so I thought this was like an original game. I thought when I bought it because I was a racing game and I was interested. So I had come with this with no expectations, and let me tell you, I fell in love with it the minute I started playing it, and it's really involved in the story, characters, especially John Tanner and his enemy Jericho and everything. Pretty good. This is when I started playing the other games later down the road, especially the third one, which I'm in the middle of playing right now. But this was like the best version of Driver I've seen when it turns of driving, car wise. Gameplay wise, I have to give that to Driver 3 or Parallel Lines because they're somewhat better. But for something that's part of the main series, this is like my best. And as you can see, as you can tell, this one has the Uplay passport, as you can see right here. I don't know what's been. Let's see. I don't know if I can show you the code and everything because I don't know if it's been used. But at the same time, this is during a Uplay day, so I have a feeling it doesn't even work anymore. In fact, even if it does at all, but even then, this is you can tell this is when I bought this secondhand. It was still new. Looked like the person didn't even play, as you can tell. Looks pretty good. Good shape, manual and all. Along of course with the Uplay. The Uplay, which means this thing was never touched back in what year was this? I forget. 2011. Yeah, 2011. Man, and for a game of 2011, the cutscenes and gameplay, especially the cutscenes, look very top notch. Like something like you would swear if you watch the gameplay, you think it would come out of you thought it'd come out of the Xbox One or even the Series X, from the next gen. But yeah, pretty good, especially for first one made by Ubisoft, and especially made by, and this is, of course, it was made by Reflection, so it was going to be good. But it was under a different developer ever since Ubisoft bought off Reflection Studios. Then it became Ubisoft Reflections. It's too bad they haven't made any good driver games, or we haven't seen a new one ever since. I've been dying for them to ever make a remake of the first 3 driving games, especially the third one, because the third one obviously needed a lot of work done. But as of now, this is pretty good. And to think this thing is almost like more than 12 years old, hard to believe. It makes me feel old, even though I bought this like around 2019, I think, or 18. So yeah, pretty good. And I have some other ones. Some of them I've gone to playing, so I'll probably skip over some of them. But this one has very, very very, 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 very deep childhood memories. And as you can tell, it's Looney Tunes Acme Arsenal. As you can tell by the cover, it's kind of a bit damaged and everything. The covers come off and everything. And the reason why is because, well, believe it or not, very long story, but this version of the game is the same game I played back when there was a video store close to me. Yes, I actually had a video store near my neighborhood. It was like a few miles down the road, and as you can see, even has the name right here. And let me just turn it around for a bit. Yep, it was called the Video Place. Very generic name, but that's when you can tell it was one of those secondhand mom and pop stores, and as you can see, it's kind of a crummy because whoever owned this thing obviously didn't take care of it, because if you look up the place now, all I can tell you is that they shut down years ago, the video place, and yeah, they pretty much sold off all their videos that have ever been made. They got released, and this game was one of them. And that's what explains the damage and everything. We had this, did not take care of it. But the reason why I haven't switched to new one, because this is good, it's running fine. Ironically, this is the one game that has no developer history whatsoever. Like, I looked on Wikipedia and everything, there's barely anything released, which is odd because it's pretty much a solid game. Yeah, sure, the story is kind of loosey-goosey in a way, but then again, being a Looney Tunes, you probably wouldn't expect plot-heavy stuff, but at the same time, I don't know, maybe I wish there was something more. This is like one of my favorite games and everything. Pretty good. I was too young to get the references and everything of the gameplay, but now when I got older and watched most of the Looney Tunes cartoons, yeah, it's probably pretty funny, especially with some of the adult humans managed to get away with, especially in this game. But as you can see, next gen, pretty good. A little damage, you can see falling apart, but I don't know, it's pretty good. Pretty good. This one is a game I have played, but this next one, there's a whole very dear memory to me. Well, kind of mostly, but it's of course the famous, as you can see, Legend of Spyro: Dawn of the Dragon. I don't really have the first and second one. Actually, my little sister has it, and she owns it. She played those. I bought this one so I can not only she can play with, but also I can play with her. So in a way, I kind of own this. I do own this because I bought this with my own money, and the price of this thing. $60 for this thing. Seriously, $60. If you were to tell me that this was worth the price of $60, hell no. Fuck no. It is not worth the price. It's not worth the price. But if you told me, but if I was to pay for this for 20, $30, yeah, I would be more higher and a fair, be more higher, more better in price value. But it's a pretty good game. Played the co-op with my sis. Pretty good. We had a good time. Pretty much loved the story and everything, graphics and everything wise. Pretty good for a game in 2008, especially when it was also Rush 2. You know, a lot of people don't realize this game was rushed from Sierra, i.e. Activision, from ELB. ELB tried their best, especially for a French studio and everything, as opposed to Radical Entertainment when they made the, well, yeah, when they made the, I think it was Radical Entertainment. Was it? Let me think. No, it was Chrome Studio. Chrome Studio. Chrome Studio made the first two Spyro games. It was not Radical Entertainment. I think of Crash Bandicoot for a bit. But yeah, Chrome Studios, they were pretty good at making the first two, but you know, ELB, I like their new direction when they made it. Had to make more styles of cartoon because you know, with how dark the story gets, it makes sense. Not makes sense why they had the chance from the cartoony aspect from a bit more real, but at the same time still kept the colors and everything, make it still look like something out of a fantasy world, and it works great, perfectly. Yeah, ELB, they really did their job and everything. But yeah, but at the same time, this was rushed. This game was rushed a bit, but not as badly rushed as say as opposed to Mafia 2 or any of the other games that suffered, or Mafia 3 and all that stuff. Because at least Activision gave them some time, and at the time there was going through an acquisition going on. Not acquisition, but like you know, a liquidation between Sierra and Activision, which is why Spyro and even Crash Bandicoot are owned by Activision because now they own all the rights now, pretty much. Yeah. By the time this was being made, I think Sierra was making it, but by the time it was finished and the thing was resolved, it got basically has Activision's name on it. But if you ever booted up the game, their name is still there because they were pretty much responsible. I think for legal reasons they had to keep them there because they were involved in the development in the first place. But yeah, it was a good game, good actors, especially Elijah Wood, Oldman, and even Christina Ricci actually for her first time was pretty good, especially Elijah Wood and everything. But whether or not you think they were better is compared to their, you know, live action kind of was when they make movies, that's debatable. You know, I thought they were pretty good in VAs, pretty good, not great, but pretty good. Okay, the rest we're gonna focus on is kind of like these Xbox One / Series X. I'm not gonna go over all of them because most of them I didn't finish yet. But the first one is the one that actually got me more into the Mafia series, and that, of course, as you guessed, is Mafia Definitive Edition. Yep, this game was a game changer for me because it made me really appreciate the games more. And of course, it really made me more saddened by the fact that 2K, I mean, they really don't care about their franchises, unlike say, like at all, as compared to like you know Rockstar or anything. Which you know, even then Rockstar is still going down to 2, but back then, 2K was considered like the like I don't know like the redhead stepchild from Take-Two Interactive. This screen, as you can see, I got the one that came with the poster, along with, as you can see here, some packs and everything, which I think I ended up getting. Yeah, and as you can see, what they didn't tell me, what I forgot, that the only way for to get these packs, especially in all 3 of the games, I pretty much had to like make my own 2K account, which is something they don't tell you. Everything, but as you can see, especially from the back, has this cool looking poster. A lot of people forget this poster is actually in the back and everything. It kind of looks cool, really black and whitish, almost like old school Mafia. Something out of like, it looks pretty cool, like something that came out of the 30s. Yeah, as you can see, Hangar 13 really cared about everything. Has the poster and everything. Can't open it all the way, but you can tell. I guess I'm gonna open it for a bit. Hold on. But as you can see right here, from this piece, it has remnants of the poster, especially the original poster. I could hang it up, but probably do it at a later time. But I wouldn't mind it because based on the cover, this is a pretty good artwork right here. Pretty good. And yeah, this really was a life, you know, a reward too big to ignore. Chuckle. Anyway, it really was. pretty good story. Is it better than the original one? Well, I wouldn't tell you that because I haven't played the original one. I didn't get it on Steam yet, nor do I have the physical original PC copy from Illusion Softworks. So I'll have to play it in order to give my 2 cents. But for a game for like this, just for this alone, very, very good, very good. It made me wish that it made me wish that 2K gave Hangar 13 the time and perspective to make Mafia 3, because when you see how polished it is compared to 3, especially this one, yeah, they really, really, really should have given more time, especially when they put in the Mr. Clay's, Lincoln Clay's car into this, and when you see the damage physics in the car in this game compared to Mafia 3, it made you really, really think that Mafia 3 could have been the best polished game it had 2K given them time and everything. But sometimes I would think with a definitive vision they fixed it, but apparently not. But because I think because either A, they were rushed again, or Hangar 13 was so busy with this that they couldn't really do anything about the third one. But here's hoping they actually polish it later down the future if they ever can. But this is one of the few times I recommend don't use Mafia 2's Definitive Edition, because Mafia 2 Definitive Edition, because the reason why is because as much as say the Definitive Edition, it somehow has more glitches and everything. Like if you look at Mafia Games videos on the whole Definitive Edition he made, especially a compilation he made about the glitches, you'll notice that even after years after it was released, it was never ever fixed. But you should see it. It's a pretty good video. But if only if only it was more polished and everything. But what are you gonna do? I'm hoping Mafia 2 gets the same Mafia Definitive Edition Deluxe, because the reason why is because I don't know. It will probably make the story. I wish it was. Yeah, I wish they would do that, because it would bring more stuff to the story that was cut, along with some stuff, especially from the second game. Have some stories, change the things around. I'm okay with it. I mean, I love this one, so yeah, I liked it. But yeah, pretty good. This is actually the one that made me fall in love with Mafia franchise even more, as opposed to the second one, which many people would say was that's kind of sacrilegious of you, but at the same time, well, as much as I love Mafia 2, everybody tends to agree. More, like I said, could have been fixed more and everything, more complete story. I have a feeling this story is way better in my opinion to 2. Although then again, some things could have been cut there, then and there too. But you never know. You never know. But yeah, great game. And the next things I have, the next one is also another collection of a certain game franchise, and that is of course Doom Slayers Collection, i.e. Doom 2016. And as you can tell, I don't have any of the collector's items nor Doom Eternal and everything nor game poster. I got this because I thought it was going to be I was going to come with the other games, but it turns out no, it's supposed to have some kind of card. That's one of the reasons why I said in the last video to get to Doom 3, because of the fact that, well, they actually come with the first 2 games, just not from in the disc. Unlike, have to validate some cards. As you can see, this is a promo from Doom Eternal. I actually bought the game digitally. I plan to get a physical copy soon, because, the way with digital games, then, you can't own them anymore, the whole downfall, the whole digital games thing. But I'll probably get a digital, but I played it. I love Doom Eternal. I'm waiting for Dark Ages. It's going to be fun. And there's a whole join the club and everything, Doom Plays Club. The disc from 2016. And this one's what is this? Yeah, this is before you get collector's edition of Doom. It's old, so I'm pretty sure I can't use it. As you can see, from the front, it says it has Doom 1, 2, 3, 2016. But that's only if what the game doesn't tell you. What it doesn't tell you if you did, you have to have, as you can see right here, digital game download. And I don't have it, so that's one of the great reasons why you should get Doom 3 BFG edition, because those actually come in the disc rather than buying it digitally more. So it'd be better. But then again, I haven't heard anything good or bad on the Xbox One for playing Doom 3, so who knows. But This is pretty good. But besides that, the 2016 game itself, pretty good game. Loved it, loved it every bit of it. Loved every mystery and details. I love the fact that Rick references the original Doom, especially in the secret levels and everything. Love the Easter eggs. Love especially the soundtrack. I mean, Rick Gordon, he's like the best. Really sad what happened to him, especially during Eternal. Really, but what's done is done. And if I had to just base it just on this game alone, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Makes you feel like a badass every time you play it, especially the original ones too. But yeah, this is like good, very good. Let's see what else is there. The other ones I have, of course, another classic made by Bethesda is of course Fallout 3. As you can see, it's the backwards compatible, but it's also Game of the Year edition, which includes Anchorage, Pit, Broken Steel, Lookout, Mothership Zeta, and everything. I actually liked it, especially the third one. Yeah, I know people say the Doom Fallout NV is better, but I haven't played it yet, so I wouldn't know what that's like. And everything. So as you can see, it has 2 of the discs under here. So let me try to get it. There you go. As you can see, the second disc has the DLCs. Well, no, this is the second disc. It has the DLCs and everything to install it. First one is the base game. Good thing to play. I actually enjoyed it. Really much enjoyed it. I wish, some of the stuff from the 4th game was implemented some of the stuff in the 3rd game was implemented in the 4th one, because I kind of like the things in gameplay in 3 a bit more than I do in 4, but everybody has a taste and everything. And speaking of which, the next one I have is also Fallout 4, and as you can see, it's also Game of the Year edition. I have Omnitron, all the contraptions in Fall Harbor and Nuke World. And as you can see, it came with voucher codes, but I used it, so don't even bother trying to say where it is. I can see the disc is not in there. Playing it right now. You can see it has the poster from the special one. I try my best in the game to get all of them, which you might say is kind of useless for some of them, but some of them are useless, so I'm not going to get all of them, just the ones that are pretty much helped me in the long run. It's going great so far. As you can see, there's a download thing. There you go. Doesn't matter if I show you the codes or not, because like I said, I already used it, so. But it says do not discard, so I don't know. But pretty good. A lot of people complain about the character dialogue, that your character's talking and everything. I don't mind it whatsoever, because actually I don't think I have a reason for it, but I just really don't mind it, because the gameplay and the stuff and everything, it's like fine. But like I said, I still enjoy 3 more, because the fact that 3 has some pretty good things that 4 doesn't. Like your guns don't degrade over time. You can't repair stuff anymore. Some stuff is now either minimalized or even not even there anymore. But this thing shot up more in price, especially ever since the TV show came out, which I haven't watched yet, because I don't have Prime Video or anything, because I don't want to give. I bother giving Amazon my money for a show that I'm gonna watch one time, just one show. I know there's other more good shows on Amazon, but I'd rather get like a physical release than watching it online and everything. But either way, I played this one. It's pretty good. It even got the new updates that came out after the show aired and everything. And despite what people are saying online, I didn't get that many glitches in my copy, nor do I get many crashes or anything. But but I don't know. Many people were complaining about having it on PC, so maybe that's it. But I don't know. Haven't got any issues with it. But yeah, pretty good. The other one here are just. Okay. Rest here is a bunch of games that got me interested, like this one, Crash, the Insane Trilogy. This one was the game that actually helped me fall in love with the original Crash games, and not just, but also Crash in general and everything. It's just like, it was very, very good. Granted, with the graphics and everything, while they still look fine, I'm glad that Toys for Bob gave it the more cartoony aspect, and especially in the fourth game, which is a good thing. Not that I say I didn't like it in this game, but glad they went more cartoony. Loved it. Love all three games and everything, especially those two bonus levels I managed to beat, and they were so hard, and everybody knows that. Everybody had problems with it. But yeah, I had to play all three of it. Pretty good. Not much to say anything about it because because the original game had not much to talk about aside from different graphics and everything. The story remained the same and everything, just higher detailed and more enhanced. It's just too bad that Clancy Brown wasn't Cortex anymore. Not that I'm saying Lex Lang is bad, but Cortex, Clancy Brown always sounded better as Cortex. So, and I forget why. I forget why he didn't play him anymore. I guess you guys in the comments will probably say why, but I keep hearing conflicting things. Either he wanted more money and they said no later down the line, or he just wasn't interested. I don't know. I don't remember. And then of course came the other one, CTR Nitro Fuel. This one's Nitro Fuel. I have the original one too, but I have Nitro Fuel. This one has the levels from Nitro Kart, which a game I also have and everything. It's just too bad they couldn't put the story from Nitro Kart into this game, because it would have been a cool addition having two games into one. But my guess they only wanted to focus on the first one, which is fine and everything. But ever since they put the levels of CNK in this game, maybe wish that they put the other story into it. And aside from being made by a new studio, it has the same graphics and everything, just different customization options, which is actually things I actually did like, because unlike the original game, it didn't have that much customization and everything. But yeah, it was like I haven't played it online at all, but probably don't plan to anytime soon. But I have played with families and friends, and it's pretty fun. Now the next one is, of course, it's about time. Clever wordplay. This is the one I actually said. Like I said, it was the one I said earlier that has better, because as you can see, he's more cartoony now. He's not no longer looking realistic like and everything. The character designs look a bit more better than the original ones, especially Cortex and everything. It all is better and everything. I apologize for not opening the disc here more, because as you can tell, with the only sad thing is about Xbox One and Series X, because they made their disc things more bare bones, like they don't care about it. Whereas in the other ones, I prefer have more manuals or posters and everything, which is something that, as you can see, Mafia Definitive Edition have, but they either do or don't. That's okay. But but aside from that, it was pretty much a good game. I didn't go all the way 100%, 110 or 20%. I forgot what it was, because it's gonna be not really a slog to get through, but it's gonna be a bit more of a challenge. Because unlike the Insane Trilogy, which I all 100%, this one's a bit more harder, but I'm gonna try my best to try to do that and everything. So yeah, but aside from that, it was a pretty good story, pretty good game and everything. I'm hoping they make a fifth one, maybe something based on the Twinsanity they were originally gonna do. I think it was called Crash Bandicoot Crash. What was the original title of the Twinsanity called? It was called not Worlds. That was the fourth game. That was the other fourth game. It was I forgot. But I'm just hoping the fifth one will be the original idea of Crash Twinsanity, and hopefully, I'm just wishing, who knows. Next one I have is also a video game franchise I fell in love with. That being, of course, the Spyro Reignited trilogy. Believe it or not, it seems like all the problems with the graphics I had with the Insane trilogy was better in this one, because even though they were going for the realistic, especially Spyro has more skills and everything, they still kept it cartoony and everything, which is something, like I said, which I wish that Crash Remix here, it's a bit advertisement for CTR, but at least But like I said, they kept the cartoony aspect in the Reignite trilogy. I wish they would have done in Crash and everything. They kept the same voice actor. I mean, like, I forget his name, Tom Kenny. It's too bad that the original actor who plays Spyro in the first game didn't reappear. But at this time, at this point, Tom Kenny was a staple in the second and third game, and even the Enter the Dragonfly one, which is infamous. But at the same time, he was still in it. But I don't mind it. Yeah, sure. I've noticed his voice is a little bit more squeakier than his original PS1 counterpart, which is a bit more lower voiced than pretty much his normal voice. But I don't know. I think it had to do with age. But aside from that, his voice was pretty much fine and everything. I liked it. Yeah, I liked everyone's redesigns and everything. Made them cartoony, but not too cartoony. But all that stuff. Pretty good. And this one is, of course, Battle for Bikini Bottom. Rehydrated, of course. I have the original one also, either. But unlike this one, I'm not going to talk this much about because to me, this feels like it was just a reskin of the original game. Because when I looked up how much different it is and everything, it really didn't change anything. If anything, they used the original voice lines, even the original actors, like Clancy Brown as Mr. Krabs, which you'd think they would have had with more money, but apparently not. Apparently, almost nothing changed. Like, aside from a graphics update, nothing changed really. But at the same time, I think they were making it because I don't know. I don't know why. It's just aside from visuals and new multiplayers and everything. But they did restore some of the stuff, like they said. But it was only used for multiplayer because I didn't see no Robo Squidward in the original game. You used that in multiplayer. So who knows? But yeah, like I said, there's nothing much to talk about with this one because all it is pretty much, to me, it was more of a reskin because nothing changed that much really. So not that I say I don't have a problem with it. It's just that, I got this at a decent price for $20, so that's why I'm not that upset about it. I'm like, because had it been 30 or 40, I would have been more upset because it was pretty much, like I said, just the same game but reskinned. Aside from that, I don't really have a problem with it. That was it, really much. Hold on, guys. This is gonna. Sorry for the rumbling. Trying to put it all back together. I don't know if I could talk about more here or if I should do another part because I have a lot of other stuff on the second. But I'll do my best. So probably focus more on the M-rated games. Probably not. I don't know if I should do it right now or later. Let's see. Oh, great! I'm almost running out of memory again. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to cut it short again. Hopefully I'll see you in part 3. This is the Game Dude here. This is Game Dude, over and out.